What day is it?
Ah! Yes, I see. This calendar's from 2024. September 11th?
Dang it. I was supposed to release a video in August that talks about what I did in July, and then this month I would do a video that talks about what I did in August. I'm back from the dead and I'm already dead again.
What? I'm a skeleton now? So the cure for being dead is to talk about what I developed in video games last month? And the month before that? I know. I'll talk about the one singular level that it took me 2 months to develop. Partially because of outside factors, and partially because I was just so slow at developing the game.
One of the things that I thought was a bit limiting about my earlier level design was the fact that I was just randomly placing things and hoping that it all worked out. This time I decided to actually design the level. I decided to design a giant mountain that I could use for at least the snowy parts of the ice level. I also realized that I needed to design some more enemies that I could use. I decided to design an enemy based off of Marshmallow from Frozen, but along the way I decided to make a slight change of plans. I then designed a bunch of enemies off screen, some of which are based off of toys that don't really exist and are just cool concepts, and some of which are based off of toys that actually do exist in real life. After accidentally deleting the entire level because one enemy that I created, I decided to delete the blueprint model for it because it was just not working, and I ended up crashing the entire level and having to restart the entire thing. But once I did recreate the level, I think I did a much better job this time around than when I did the first time. I decided to finish off the level, or at least the part of the level that I had worked on up until the end of the day that I was working on it, with a giant wooden bridge, and eventually I settled on the idea that it would lead into a laboratory owned by Iguana, the mad scientist supplying the entire game's version of the technology that you're fighting against. I designed this lab with some race car enemies that walk back and forth, and some generators that would stop some force fields if you were to destroy them. However, I also realized that it was very likely that people would just straight up miss the generator and not try to destroy it at all. I added this one cutscene thing where if you destroy the one on the right, it tells you that you've destroyed a generator destroying a force field, and the one on the left just kind of assumes you've destroyed the one on the right. But in order to really get across the point that you need to hit those things, I added some enemies on top. I designed these guns based off of those toy popper guns. I couldn't find the ones that me and my brother used to play with, so instead I just kind of found this one image on Google and modeled that. I placed the guns on top of the generator so that when the player misses the gun and hits the generator, which hopefully happens, and hopefully they don't have perfect aim and can't figure out that they need to destroy the generators in the first place, they'll eventually accidentally destroy the generator and result in seeing the cutscene, which didn't happen in this clip because I've got perfect aim. Somewhat. Eventually I got tired of having to move my character constantly, so I created a debug code that allows the player to fly. Based off of Jack and Daxter's debug code, obviously. I created this cool elevator brigade room where a bunch of enemies fall from the sky and try to kill you, and you try to kill them. You can't progress until you've killed all of them, at least until the final wave, where it's just kind of it lets you move on without guaranteeing you killed everyone. Eventually I decided to change the wooden texture that the main character uses, because I don't actually own the texture that I was previously using. I also decided to create new textures for when the character becomes invisible, because obviously they're invisible now. I decided to change what the headband normally does, which would ordinarily just decrease the amount of ammo you use per weapon shot, but now instead it turns you completely transparent whenever you're not moving. This clip is not before I added the... This clip is from before I decided to add the not moving part, or at least before I properly added it. Eventually I started working on the boss of the room, Iguana, which You might be thinking he's an ice-themed iguana, but no, he's just... He's kind of just a guy. When it came time to actually design the boss fight, I decided to use my favorite boss type and use it on this guy. Optional inhibition. For this fight, there are some giant lasers that shoot ice rays every now and then. And you can turn off the ice rays by destroying them. The important thing is that you don't have to destroy them. The boss is the boss, and he has his own health bar. Destroying the giant laser rays is just purely if you want to. I also, of course, added the ability to get frozen if you get shot by his ice gun, or if he shoots you with his hail attack. You really don't want to do that, but hey, the ice deals very little damage and you're invincible while you're in the ice, so you don't have to worry too hard about it. Eventually, after a lot of trial and error, I even managed to create a new health bar system that I think is vastly superior than the one that I was previously using. In this new one, it actually has ticks instead of just the normal bar that you can see on Rocket's health. Finally, I decided to work some on hologram horses level, but that's a recap for another time. I haven't done enough on it to say anything. Plus, that's a bit of September work, not August work. So clearly, the moral of the story is... there is no moral. Just please make me not be dead anymore. Please. 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 Oh, hey, I'm alive again. Now I can stop doing that stupid voice.